Hello friends, myself Deep Tanshu. Right now I'm at Books and Periodicals Ashoknagar. George R. Martin in his book A Dance with Dragons said, "A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads lives only one." And I hope you won't disagree with me when I say that the famous movie directors have imbibed this message quite well. So much so that they have utilized their skills to create a movie out of these splendid novels which were loved and appreciated by a large mass of people. But a minimal amount of people are aware of the fact that these movies are an adaptation of the novels. Hence, to make the audience aware about the contribution of the novels writers, we will be starting with a series of videos where we'll talk about the famous novels which were adapted in movies. Starting with the first episode, today we'll talk about four interesting novels, namely The Fault in Our Stars, Twilight, The Kite Runner, and To Kill a Mockingbird. The Kite Runner. The Kite Runner is the novel by Afghan American author Khalid Hosseini. It tells the story of Amir, a young boy from Wazir Akban Khan district of Kabul, whose closest friend is Hassan. Hosseini has commented that he considers The Kite Runner to be a father-son story, emphasizing the family aspect of narrative, an element he continued to use in his later works. Themes of guilt redemption feature prominently in the novel, with a pivotal scene depicting an act of sexual assault that happens against Hassan that Amir fails to prevent. The situation as a whole was the major reason why Amir and Hassan's friendship ended. The latter half of book centers on Amir's attempts to atone for the transgression by rescuing Hassan's son Sohrab 2 decades later. A number of adaptations were created following publications, including a 2000 film of the same name, several stage performances, and a graphic novel, To Kill a Mockingbird. To Kill a Mockingbird is a novel by Harper Lee. The plot and character are loosely based on Lee's observations of her family, her neighbors, and an event that occurred near her hometown when she was 10 years old. The novel is a renowned part of her creation, which talks about the warmth and humor. Despite dealing with the serious issues of rape and racial inequality, scholars have noted that Lee is also addressing issues of class, courage, compassion, and gender roles in the Deep South. The book is widely taught in schools in the United States with lessons that emphasize tolerance and decry prejudice. The Fault in Our Stars is a novel by John Green. It was published on January 12, 2012. The title is inspired by Act 1, Scene 2 of Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar, in which the nobleman Cassius says to Brutus, "The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings." The story is narrated by Hazel Grace, a 16-year-old with thyroid cancer that has affected her lungs. Hazel is forced by her parents to attend a support group, where she subsequently meets and falls in love with 17-year-old Augustus Waters, an ex-basketball player and an amputee. A feature film adaptation of the book was released on June 6, 2014. Both the book and its film adaptation were met with strong critical and commercial success. Twilight is a 2005 young adult vampire romance novel by author Steffi Meyer. It is the first book in Twilight series and introduces 17-year-old Isabella Swan, who moves from Phoenix, Arizona to Fox, Washington. She is endangered after falling in love with Edward Cullen, a vampire. Additional novels in the series are New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn. The film adaptation, released in 2008, was a commercial success too. The book was the biggest selling of 2008. However, in 2009, it was the second biggest selling, losing only to its sequel, New Moon. That's all for today, and we hope you like this video. We'll come up to you in the very short time with some very interesting novels. Thanks a lot for watching us.